to Lex Reads. So in today's video, we're actually going to be talking about plays, clearly Black plays. Now, I only have like a handful because that is one genre that I don't really read a lot. And if I have read them, ugh, I, there mainly have been white playwrights, but of course, me getting into Black literature these couple of years, you already know I had to buy some, Black plays, and I'm still building my collection. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to show you a couple that I do have that I do really love. And yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so the first one is The Color Museum by George C. Wolfe. George C. Wolfe, he is a GOAT, okay? He is a director, he's a playwright, he's a writer. I mean, he's just everything. He actually directed, the newest thing that he directed was the Ma Rainey on Netflix, but his play, this is fantastic. So this is basically, they read like short stories, but they're called like exhibits. And every exhibit is stereotypes of Black, culture, Black world, Black individuals, everything. So it's set in the 80s, and the play is actually, you can see it on YouTube. I'll link it down below. It is fabulous, okay? And what I did is I watched it and read it at the same time. My favorite probably is the hairpiece exhibit, and that one is about a woman that she is contemplating about her relationship with, her man, and she's like, I think I might break up with him, I don't know, but she has these wigs that she wears, and the wigs are actually, they're like talking. So you have like a mannequin head, and one of the mannequin heads are like, if you wear me, you will be confident and you'll be able to tell him how you think. And then the other one, the other mannequin head is like, well, give him a chance, and maybe he'll do better. It's hilarious. And the actress Loretta Devine is one of the mannequin heads. So funny, you guys, please watch it. It was hilarious. But this, I really liked it. Okay, of course, you have to mention, when you mention plays, Black plays, August Wilson. So we have Fences, and then we have the piano lesson. I think out of his plays, I do like the piano lesson. I need to get Ma Rainey. But yeah, I like this one, and also like the movie. There is a movie with Alfred Witter. Fantastic. Boy Willie, he wants to buy the land in Mississippi that his family worked on, like as slaves, and he's going to sell this antique piano, and his wife's like, you're not selling that, it's too much history and all of that. And when you really go deep into it, you see it. It's fantastic. And then Fences, I did like this one, but oh Lord, what's that man's name? Troy. Oh, I could have beat Troy. The way that he treated his son and the way that he treated his wife. Yeah, I don't even want to give it away. I know you guys probably have seen the movie, but if you haven't seen the movie or haven't read the play, Troy got on my last nerve. How he did his wife and kid. Couldn't have been me. But yeah, I really like this. And I love this edition because it has James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones and Courtney B. Vance, they were in the Broadway production. And those are two heavy hitters. I mean, come on now. Those actors they can act. So yeah, I really do like this edition. Well, next is Susan Laurie Parks, and this is Venus. This is about Sarah Botman. And Lord... I always get frustrated and so sad and angry when I think about the way they treated this woman. Sarah Botman, she was from Africa, and she was a slave, obviously, and they moved her from Africa to France to, basically she was an exhibit, and they were fascinated with her body, the way that, it was proportioned, and they treated her like an animal. She literally was locked in a cage, and I mean, yeah, just dehumanization is just like an understatement. for how they treated this woman. But this play, you know, it talks about that. It goes into detail about her life in Africa and, you know, France and all of that. It is hard to read, but it's so, so, so good. And I had heard of Sarah Botman, you know, from my own research, because of course they don't teach that in school. And if you go to a predominantly white school, they're not going to teach that. So I had learned that, you know, in passing and or research and, you know, but I really, when I read this, it was like, you know, it was a heavy hitter because clearly the main, you know, theme is about her. So yeah, guys, look her up because it's fascinating. It honestly is. Okay, next is The Amen Corner by James Baldwin. I'm a fan of James Baldwin. I've read all of his fictional catalog. Just this writer was just brilliant. And not a lot of people know about this play. This play is about a female preacher, and her congregation, her name is Margaret. Her congregation is worried about her because she has an estranged husband that is you know, he a sinner. He out in the world. He was a musician, but he comes back into her life, and her congregation is worried that, oh, you know, maybe she might fall back into that trap, or maybe she might backslide. And they also have a young son that is, you know, he's going through changes with just his thoughts on religion and just life and, you know, the church and things like that. I thoroughly enjoyed this so much because if you grew up in a Black church, you see, you know, some of the sayings and the similarities. The only thing I always have a problem with James Baldwin, I always say it when I, you know, talk about his works, is he really talks badly about the church. And the main reason why is, you know, he generalizes. And I always say, and I've always been taught this, that not everyone that is in the church is of the church. Meaning, you have people that are churchgoers, that they go to church, they check on a list, oh, I went to church on Sunday. But you have some that are actually, you know, real faithful and come, you know, you know, they're actually saved. And so that's my only thing, because he really does he talks about the, you know, like the church as opposed to like the people in the church. And it's a separation. If you are a person of faith, you know, you kind of understand what I'm saying. But that's the only grip that I do have with James Baldwin. But I really did enjoy this, like, thoroughly. And I love this edition too. So yeah, this one was fantastic, and also was on Broadway. Who was B. Richards? She was the Margaret, and then who else? Isabel Sanford, who played Wheezy in the Jeffersons. She was one of the like congregation members. So yeah. And then lastly, this, I like, out of all these, I would urge you guys to get this. And it is 9 plays by Black women. You guys know I love anthologies. I live for anthologies, because this is, if you are, you know, a beginner of, if you are a person that's getting back into reading, in general, anthologies are the way to go. This has been my go-to with all of my, you know, readings when I've especially got back into Black literature and got back into, you know, reading in general. But when I wanted to get into plays, I started out with this, and this is fantastic because, I mean, it's plays by Black women. And another thing that I like about this book is it has Black playwrights that no one really talks about. So you have B. Richards, you have Alice Childress. You know, we are Alice Childress fan over here. You have Lorraine Hansberry, into Shaki Strange. Who else? Catherine Collins. I mean, so many. Guys, please pick this up. I would say out of these plays, I really liked Alice Childress. I love her. And then of course I love the For Colored Girls Who've Committed Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough. That's by Inshaki Strange. You know, they did a movie on it and everything like that. I love that. Those chorus plays are just fantastic. So yeah, guys, pick this up. I actually got this from Amazon, I think. Amazon or thrift books. So yeah, pick it up because this is a gem. So yeah, guys, that's all I have when it comes to, you know, plays by Black playwrights. Again, I'm building up my collection because I want to have more. I know that my next play that I do want to get is the August Wilson Ma Rainey, because I've seen half of the movie, which I need to, you know, watch that. And then I also want to see the production like on Broadway. So yeah, but that's like my next one that I want to get. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for you, and I'll be back with more Black books. Bye.